Hey everybody, Brian here. In this video I want to show you this car here. This is a 2021 and it's a Volkswagen TROC. In this video we'll run through the features on the outside and the inside of the car, so by the end of the video you know a little bit more about the Volkswagen TROCs, or if this is a car that you're particularly interested in, you're coming to see it, then you have a good idea what you're coming before you arrive. Anyway, if you want information on the car...
Brian's my name. Call, text, WhatsApp 086 843 1945. If you want information on the car, trading in a car, financing or whatever you want to know, best way, just give me a shout direct and I'll be able to go through that with you on the phone before you come to see the car. Anyway, what we'll do is, the weather is really horrible, so we'll start off by just looking at some of the nice features on the outside of the car. So once again, it's raining in Ireland. Anyway, so nice things on the outside I quite like. There's a nice bit of chrome. I've seen it in some other cars. It kind of wraps all the way around and down along the grille. Nice big, you know, kind of imposing looking grille at the front. This model will have front fog light down here, headlights which are dual double optic even, so the full's there and the dip is there, so you get great light. Some cars only have either one or the other on. These are daytime running lights and your indicator is recessed in through there as well. But the front of the car, to be fair, like, it's not unlike actually the bigger Tiguan at the front when you're looking at it. Moving down the side, there's nice brushed aluminium along there by the way as well. The wheels are actually a 16-inch wheel. Now what's good about that is, I think in fairness they look quite nice, but as a 16-inch wheel, when it comes to maintenance and tyre replacement and all that kind of stuff, two things: 16-inch wheel, usually the ride is going to be nice and comfortable, and the second thing is they're not going to be expensive when it comes to replacement, so that's useful for running costs. Down the side of the car we saw some nice chrome in the front which wraps around this section here all the way back into the C-pillar actually at the back. Normally kind of goes down by the windows, but this goes all the way along, so that looks pretty cool. And then you have these aluminium roof rails that go from front to back, so they look kind of quite stylish, but also then you'll be able to put bars from one side to the other. The taillights, like most Volkswagens, they have this kind of LED style setup on the rear, so they look quite nice. And then more chrome down around through here, and there is a nice little bit of brushed aluminium along the rear. And cool things like when you go to open the boot, you use this here. Now a lot of Volkswagens are like that, so I think it looks pretty neat. The boot, right, it looks kind of small at the start, but I have to say the boot is in super excellent condition on this car. Really super tidy. You know, sometimes you look at a boot and you go, oh my god, has anything ever been in here? So it's really tidy looking, but it is shallow. However, from what I see on these, you can make it way deeper by dropping that down. So having it shallow is obviously more convenient for putting stuff in and out, but if you want space when you drop it down, that's actually a really big boot. Now one of the upshots of that is you don't have a spare wheel on this model, but the boot space in that, because of the spare wheel being removed, that's excellent boot space. Into the rear of the car, so electrics for windows back here, there's a speaker down here, obviously child locks, there is 3 head restraints, there's nice design along the seating, so it's kind of like a moderately light grey with a sort of maybe almost yellowy grey kind of tinge. I know that sounds like an unusual colour combination, but it looks quite nice. Ventilation's in the rear. There is 2 USB connectors. Somebody was thinking about children, which makes complete sense. Condition wise on that car, I would go as far as saying, in my opinion, the floors, seats, roof, everything is in excellent condition on this car. And in terms of if I sat behind myself, one thing I find about Volkswagens, when you sit in them, you kind of sit quite upright, but the floor appears and feels quite deep, so you end up with excellent legroom. So if you look along through here, the legroom is quite good because I'm 6 foot. Headroom is decent as well, but sitting behind a 6 foot person, so like for kids and stuff, there's going to be really good room. Drinks holders in through there, but yeah, you just feel like you sit a lot more upright, but the function of that seems to be that you end up with a lot more space downwards to put your feet compared to some of the more traditional Japanese and Korean cars. Up front, electrics for windows and for mirrors, central locking in through here. These are the lighting controls, so they're automated, so you have front fog lights controls, automatic lights which come on themselves at night. Over here, wiper controls. Over here, lighting controls. In through here then, this is Bluetooth, and also you can change the multifunction steering wheel control, so whatever information you want to display comes in through there, and you can scroll down through average speed and fuel efficiency and lots of other things, Bluetooth and all those kind of things. This is cruise control, and what's nice about it is, well, it also has adaptive cruise control. So by pressing this here, I know it's kind of not focusing well, it just means when you are using cruise control, you take your foot off the pedal, the car maintains your speed, you take your foot off the pedal, it maintains your speed. If someone slows down in front of you, it slows down without you having to brake, and if they speed up, your car speeds up, but you're just choosing the distance you want to stay behind them. That's electrochromatic, so it darkens itself. There's no daytime nighttime in through there. SOS function if you get into trouble. Basically what it does is it alerts local emergency services that you've had an accident or that. there is automatic handbrake here. So a lot of cars, the handbrake, you can lift them to engage them. The Korean and Japanese cars, unfortunately, you have to lift that every single time. Great thing about Volkswagens, when you turn off the car, it automatically engages the handbrake. Really useful. 2 more USB connectors, so they're for your front passengers. Different temperatures on each side of the car, so you have dual zone climate control instead. There is a reverse camera in through here, and also I think you will end up with parking sensors, which are on the front and the rear of the vehicle. So you know, I think that's quite useful. In terms of safety, you'll have driver's airbag, passenger airbag, curtain one up high, side ones in the seat, steel bars for side impact protection on the doors, and there's lots of safety features in terms of lane keep assist and the adaptive cruise control, and also speed limiter functions as well that we talked about. Anyway, if you come to look at the car, we can go through all that kind of stuff with you. So I think what we'll do is we'll go for a drive. So the steering wheel is rake reach, so it goes up, down, in and out, and then obviously this seat I'm in is height adjustable as well, upwards or downwards depending what you want. Actually, before we get going, totally forgot about the radio, which is a big screen in the centre, and that's kind of important to people these days. Okay, so I always like these Volkswagen Seat, Skoda control units. The resolution's quite nice. The finger swiping functions, it just feels nice to use. This car will have things like, so I see that you have the minimalistic thing. You put your hand near it and it kind of wakens up and exposes all these. You take your hand away and then it disappears again to give you a more minimalist view. Crucially, this car will have it has gesture control. It does. That is cool. That's really, really cool actually. So I'm just swiping basically to control things rather than touching. Anyway, fine. That is kind of funky, I think. In terms of the car, it'll also have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so if you want to use Maps and Spotify and Google Audible, even. So apps like that are in-car usable. In terms of driving the car, so I think, you know, you could buy a Golf, and a Golf is a lovely car, but a T-Roc gives you that elevated driving feel. So it feels like a car that's higher off the ground, which it is, but you know, the driver's seat also feels elevated, so you've good visibility all the way around. And then looking around the cabin on this particular car as well, to be fair, it's a nice low mileage car. Looking around the cabin, everything looks nice and tidy, and even how it drives, like the engine, the gearbox, clutch, all those kind of things, it feels like a nice low mileage, well looked after vehicle. So many people are coming in now, they want a car that's got a nice driving position, but they want something that's compact and nimble. So say for example on a car like this, if you want to do, you know, a 3-point turn, there's good visibility all the way around, but the car's not too big. It has the parking aids that we saw already, but just if you look along here, the camera comes up. Looking around those windows, they're nice and big and you're sitting high, so you kind of can quite easily see as to, you know, what you're manoeuvring towards. The engine is a 1 litre TSI, but I think it's about 115 horsepower, so there's decent power in it. And one thing I will admit, we sell other brands brand new like Hyundai and Mercedes. One thing I will say on this Volkswagen, the quality feel on the car, it's quiet, the way the instruments work and all that kind of stuff and the controls, it just feels like a high quality, well put together car. I can see why people buy Volkswagens. Anyway, so there you have it. That is our 2020 Volkswagen T-Roc. If you want information on this car, Brian's my name. 086 843 1945. Best thing to do is call, text, WhatsApp, and I'll go through any of the information that you need to know about trading in your car, or if you want to know about this car here, or financing, or whatever it is. Anyway, hopefully the video has been useful, and thanks for watching.